Hello world. People have been asking my opinion on the hidden chamber, which is supposedly above the Grand Gallery. Well, let me give you my opinion on the hidden chamber. Number one, how did they come about assuming there's a hidden chamber there? Well, they took very expensive equipment and put it in a couple of areas within the structure. And what this equipment did is it took measurements of the energy, the radiant energy coming from above downwards. And what would happen is areas where there is structure would have blocked these energies, and when it was all done and all these energies fell upon the system blocked by physical structure, they were left with an area that would be like a X-ray of your skeleton, and from there they could see the internal guts. And they, I'm assuming, because I did not sit in on these wonderful board meetings, that they assume that the entire structure is made of Lego blocks. Was it 2.5 million Lego blocks? And with this assumption, if you were to take an X-ray of somebody and you assume they have all their ribs, and it comes up and there's one rib missing, you'd say, hey, there's a rib missing. But that's because we know the skeleton system. If you assume that there's a bunch of blocks up here, and you take an X-ray of it, and it comes through that there's no X-ray up there, you'll say, oh, there's something missing, therefore there's a void. But, as anyone who has looked at pictures and video of the entrance that people use today, the thieves' entrance, you will see that you are walking through boulders and fill and dirt. You are not walking through Lego blocks that somebody took like Minecraft and busted a couple of blocks out of there, and you're walking through blocks. No. This leaves me, my opinion, that the entire structure is filled with fill and dirt, with the exception of the areas that were constructed to be the model that we know, and the outside surface of the structure that we know. And if they were to set up, which you can't, somewhere over here, or maybe down here, and took readings, they would say, oh, there's a huge void over here. There's probably some huge hidden room. Now, I'm not sure the equipment would actually get that, because you are talking this being like 130 feet underground. So it would, may not actually get the results that they would want. It may not get any results. But when you start with a false premise, then the result that you get, or the way you read the information, may give you a false answer. And what they may have confirmed is that there is, as they said, an area of less density over here. And it may be less dense because it's filled with dirt and sand, just like the area they found when they drilled through the wall here was filled with sand behind it. And I think they did something in the king's chamber and they found out there was, well, not behind the wall behind there, they found out there was sand behind it. They didn't find like another Lego block. They found sand. So it is very possible that the entire inner guts, with the exception of what we know, is sand, rock, and fill. Now, I'd like to expand on this. They did a contest on what to use to explore this, and they came out with a decision of basically a robot that's about 2 inches in a 2-inch pipe, and it will blow up to be a big balloon with a camera hanging on the bottom of it. And it will float around in the area, but can penetrate through a small entryway. Well, why don't they take this exact same floating balloon and send it up into the grotto and take lots of pictures of the whole area on the way up, and good pictures of the grotto, and good pictures of the shaft that goes up to the bottom of the Grand Gallery. I would love if they would do that. Send it up through the shaft that goes between the Grand Gallery and above the King's Chamber, and take really good pictures of the area above the King's Chamber. I mean, photograph the heck out of this structure. Let's put it into a nice 3D walkthrough map or something, so that we can actually get pictures of what's in there and see if there's any information within this area, which is pretty much out of sight, out of mind to the general public, and let us see it. See if there's any evidence in there that'll help anybody, myself preferably, help get signs of physical function that was happening and help read it, like how you can see the watermarks in here and the watermarks in here. See if there's other things that might show us. I think there's a whole lot of little secrets in there that are out of sight, out of mind. They don't go with the tomb dogma, hence out of sight, out of mind. Just like the thieves' tunnel up there, out of sight, out of mind, behind a gate. But yet there's a lot of information in there once you look at the pictures of it, which luckily people were able to take in the late 90s. Anyway, that's my opinion, and I'm currently sticking with it.